Alright, so I know there's probably been about 1,000 people who have reviewed this thing, but I wanted to shoot my very concise and hopefully somewhat descriptive review of this because I have a lot of thoughts on this. I'm gonna go ahead and start off and say this. I love this thing. Absolutely love it. So if that's all you wanted to hear, you can go ahead and click off. You can, do whatever you want, and the video is over. But if you want to get a more in-depth review of it, then stick around. So first thing that I'm going to be talking about is the tracks. Now everybody has noted Cobi for their famous track design. And I'll tell you a funny story. At first, when I first built this, I built it wrong. I put these wheels right here. I put them on backwards, and so the tracks didn't go on the way that they were supposed to, and they kept falling off. And I got so mad because I was like, "Why are the tracks not going on?" But I flipped it around. So if you have the same problem, as you can see in there, I don't know if you can see it, but the axle thing, maybe it's better to see it on one of those ones, like over there. The axle is kind of sticking out, but on this side, it's not sticking out. So that's how it's supposed to be built if anybody else has the same problem. But anyway, rolls great. I mean, this is smooth, hard table, and it's rolling like a charm. So absolutely no problem with that. I think that the tracks work wonderfully. They link together just fine. They're durable, so have no problem with that. If we look at the front section, this part flips up a little bit, but it doesn't, it's not really a function. It's just part of the design. You can turn the turret up and down, which is pretty cool. You've got a little light here. I wouldn't mess with that too much though, because it's not very stable. One of the coolest features of this is that you can take these little hatches and actually flip them up. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Cobi model, I'll talk about this a bit later, but you can put two figures in there. I don't have figures available at the moment because they're in the baggie, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But you can stick two figures down in there. I'll talk about this later, but they don't have an interior. You can only stick them out by their legs. I might show you that later. So here's the turret design. So in order to make this a more quick review, the first thing that I want to say about the turret is this. This is a Tiger II Porsche, right? This is a Porsche turret. This is not a Porsche turret. And that is totally okay. And that's the reason that I bought this thing, is because I love the Henschel turret on the Tiger II. And in my opinion, this looks like a Tiger II turret. But this looks like a Henschel turret, and this looks like a Porsche turret. So not necessarily a knock, because again, I really like the set. But I do think that when Cobi was designing it, what they should have done if they wanted to replicate the Porsche turret, which again, I'm not a huge fan of the design of the Porsche turret, but it is a historically, important thing, and this is the Tiger II Porsche. So if they wanted to replicate that a bit better, what they should have done is taken these little striations right here. As you can see, it kind of goes up like this, and it's to the side instead of just going vertically like with this. Like as you can see, this one kind of goes vertically, and then this one goes more horizontally. What they should have done is they should have added some tiles right here instead of having this go straight up, and then continued this exact same design back here. Now, that's just my opinion. I know some people will disagree. I know some people won't like me saying that, and I still love this vehicle, but I really do think that that could have used some work, because this front here looks like a Porsche turret. It's got the roundness, it's got everything that it needs, but this back part, to me, I mean, look at this. It looks just like a Henschel turret. Am I wrong or am I wrong? I mean, it's just, yeah, that's just my opinion, but, moving on to the top, we've got a little hatch here you can open up and stick a commander in there. And then you've got a hatch here, which you can open up, and you can put two guys in there. I might show you that in a little bit. You've got this gun right here, which can rotate around. And it's even got a little magazine. You can't really take it out, but you can move it up and down. You can rotate it around, fire at anybody that you want. Yeah. So there's that. Next thing that I want to get onto before I go on to my final thoughts is the box itself. And this is the thing that really, really impressed me. This is beautiful packaging. I love this packaging. You've got the box, you've got the Cobi logo, you've got the Tiger 2P World War II collection. It's the historical collection by Cobi. Laminated, beautiful looking design, has the length, the dimensions of the figures. If you flip it over to the back, you've got all this stuff over here. Really great stuff. I mean, look at all this. You got the Tiger 2 Porsche. See what I mean, though? The Porsche turret's more smooth like that, and on this one, it's chunky. It's chunkier, which is much more like the Henschel turret. But this front part here is reminiscent of that. So again, just my opinion, but still, lots of great information on here. If I pull out this, you can see the instruction booklet. On the back, it's got other Cobi sets. And on the front, it's got some of this. Really, really great instructions. And almost better than Lego, in my opinion, in the way that they like gray this out so that you don't accidentally put things where they're not supposed to be. Because could you imagine if this was black and you were trying to put it against other black, you know? So I just think it's really good. I think it's really, really good that they do that. So yeah, good stuff all around there. Also comes with a little catalog that you can use to take a look at other Cobi sets, not just military sets, but whatever else they've got. And then this is the little plastic baggie with the extra pieces. You've got a code there. It comes with this really cool little card. I'll show you guys that. It comes with this really, really cool little card, and I don't really know what you're supposed to do with this, but it's like, it's laminated, and you know, it's got the little tiger logo on it, and apparently it's a game. So you flip it over, and you've got all this, like, all this stuff that you can do with it. Just pretty awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. So I'll throw that over there. If I pull out some figures here, I can kind of show you what I mean when I talk about, you know, putting them inside. And I'll just use this guy for demonstration. He's the Panzer gunner. He's not the commander, but, you know, if I open this hatch up, you can stick him in there like this, and he kind of sits in there. Let me see if I can get him in there a little further. If I flip his arms up, you can kind of get him in there. I think that's about as far as he'll go. So he kind of sits in there like that, or you can put him in the commander's hatch up here like that. You can kind of just, if you want to see what I did, you basically just stick him down in there. There it goes like that. And then if I pull this forward, flip this up, you can also stick him in the gunner's hatch, which is actually where he's supposed to go. You can put a commander over there, and then you can put two more guys down in there. Yeah, so that's it for that. So let me get on to my final thoughts. So let me go ahead and say this first. This tank has no interior. None. No interior at all. So I am okay with that, and here's why. I think it looks great as a display model, and I think that it doesn't need to have an interior to be good. I think that the hatches work perfectly well. But I will say, if you have kids that want a Lego tank, you have to explain that to them, and you have to make sure that they understand. Because especially coming from somebody who was a kid once, I mean, look at that. It's just beautiful. Especially coming from somebody who was a kid at one time, I would have really looked forward to building this thing and being able to get into the interior. Oh, one more thing that I forgot to do was flip this up. And if I flip this up, you can actually see there's an engine in there. And, you know, it's like, well, you just talk about there's no interior. Well, this is actually just kind of glued down in there, but you can't really get in anywhere else. You can't really access this any other way. It just kind of, let me see if I can, there we go. It just kind of sits inside of there as a single piece. So, yeah, there's no interior in here, and that's, you know, I'm okay with that, and especially because it's taken up by blocks, it gives it a weight. It gives it a nice weightiness, so it actually feels like a tank. So I really like that. But again, it is something to explain if you have kids that are looking to like get inside and see inside of the Tiger tank, the Tiger 2 tank, excuse me, then you have to explain to them, well, there's no interior in here, buddy, so you have to use your imagination a little bit. But yeah, that's it for this. Price varies. I picked mine up for $40, which is an insanely good deal. But granted, I was looking for a different place, so I was using a different website, Tank Museum website in my state, which is the United States. So if you're if you're in my country, which is the United States. But if you're looking for this in a good price, I'd recommend looking at it for tank museums or use Cobi's price. I'm not exactly 100% sure on Cobi's price, but I bet it'd be somewhere around 60 bucks. If so, if this thing is anything under $70, it is absolutely 100% worth it. Beautiful tank, beautiful set. I really, really love this set. So I highly recommend it on that front. So yeah, I think that that is it for this review. I'm probably going to mod this top part here so that I can get it to look more like the Henschel turret, because that's what I want it to look like anyway. I might make an update video on that, but I just wanted to kind of put this out there and review this tank. Overall, really great, really, really great. Cobi, you did a wonderful job, and I will definitely be purchasing more of your products. I really love this tank. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.